Take your DI'd bass and make it sound like it was recorded through a bass amp with the free bass amp sim from Sonic Anomaly. I'm Zane, welcome to Simple Green Tech, where I do weekly audio tech tips, tutorials, and reviews to help you conquer the tech and unleash your creativity. Now, today I'm reviewing the free Sonic Anomaly Bass Professor MK2, which is a free bass amp sim. Now, I've included a link to it down in the description below, so you can easily head down there, click on it, and check it out for yourself. Now, let's give it a quick listen, and then I'll go over some of the details in just a bit. So I'm going to do more bass demos in just a bit, including how it sounds in a mix. But for a free bass amp sim, or even a paid bass amp sim, Sonic Anomaly Bass Professor MK2 sounds great on DI'd bass guitars. So let's look at some of the features. And first off the bat, this plugin adds 64 samples of latency, so you may not want to record with it turned on, or you may not want to use it in a live situation either, but that's fine because this is great as an effect. Now you'll notice this slider right here called Profess, and this slider controls how much of the 7-band leveler is processed. And the 7-band section is kind of straightforward. You have the sub-bass slider right here, and that controls your sub-bass frequencies. You have low bass, and this adjusts the lower level of usable bass frequencies. Then high bass over here, and this adjusts the upper range of the bass frequencies. Then you have a Fullness slider here, and Fullness adjusts how much space it occupies in the mix. If you add too much of this, it may make your bass sound a little too muddy, and it really depends on the genre of music that you create. Let's check it out right now. And now, right next to it, we have the Arctic slider. And Arctic stands for articulation, and this adjusts the level of the details in your bass. So if you increase the Arctic slider, your note pitch will be better heard. Let's try that out right now. The Present slider over here controls the aggressiveness of your bass, and the treble controls the overall brightness of your bass sound. Let's do a quick demo adjusting some of the 7-band section here. Now, after this 7-band leveler section, your signal then goes through this distortion module called Dirt. So let's give that a little bit of a listen right now. Now, before I get back into this free bass amp sim, I just want to ask if you're enjoying this video so far and getting some value out of it, can you please hit that thumbs up button? It really helps my channel out and I appreciate it so much. Now back into Bass Professor MK2. And then after the Dirt section, your signal then goes into this high pass filter with the LF cut leveler. Then of course you have your output slider, so you can make sure that your bass's level is optimal when it leaves the plugin. You can also adjust the input level down here with the input trim, and you have three options. You can have plus 6 dB, minus 6 dB, or 0 dB. So depending if your bass needs some added gain or decreased gain, or if you recorded it optimally, you can adjust that to whatever you need. The transient control right here is just on or off. By default, it's off. And if you turn it on, it changes the attack timing of the built-in multiband compressor. So by turning it on, you will allow faster transients to pass through. And then right under that, we have this channel button here with two options. So by default, it's a mono plugin, but if you click there, it's now a stereo plugin. And the reason for this is because many people think this sounds great on other sources like drums, and I've heard specifically kick drum it sounds great on, but you can also put this on pads or synths or whatever you want to try it on, really. So I actually want to test this out on some drums and maybe some other sources right now before we get into some more bass demos. So let's do that. Now, back when I did more synth-style music, I always ran my synths and sometimes drums through a bass amp sim plugin, and the reason for this is because it can really enhance or change the sound and make you sound unique. Everyone has access to the same synth plugin, so to stand out, you gotta get creative and be a little different. Now I want to demo the Sonic Anomaly Bass Professor MK2 on some more bass guitars and hear how it sounds in a mix. So let's do that now. If you want to check out even more free VST plugins, click up here, or click down here to see what YouTube thinks you should watch next. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more free VST plugin videos like this. Thank you so much for watching for Simple Green Tech. I'm Zane, keep creating, and we'll talk soon.